How's it going, everyone? It's Noir Tapes back with another video. Today I'm doing the Kramer tape plugin. It comes in a stereo and mono version. You can use either. You get them both when you purchase it. I'll show you what it looks like here. Voila. I put this under my reverbs and delays because that's sort of what it does. But I'm going to break down what it is and what it does right now. So the Kramer tape plugin is modeled on a rare vintage quarter tube powered reel-to-reel machine. Apparently a similar machine was used by Eddie Kramer during the late 60s at London's Olympic Studio, which was used by a lot of famous artists, apparently. So basically I'm just going to go through the plugin. I'll highlight each thing, tell you what it is and what it does, and then I'll show you a couple of examples of me using it. So first you have tape speed at the top here. I've covered this in a few other plugins as well. You can see them in some of my other plugin reviews. You have the 7.5 inches per second. That's what the IPS stands for. There's also 15. A lower speed provides a better low frequency response, but the high frequencies will get affected a bit. And the higher the speed, the opposite happens. It offers a more full frequency range with less low end, slight less low end. This little button up here controls the bias. You can put normal or over. The bias calibration basically offers a higher level of emulation to real tape, essentially. You have the monitor or reproduce. If you press it, it turns off and on a bunch of knobs. Essentially, this is like an on-off button for the plugin, with the exception of the record level, the playback level, the noise that you add, and some of the other tube compression. The record level just controls your input volume. Pretty simple there. Playback level is your output volume, and they can be linked so that as you turn one up, it turns down the other. Flux relates to a level of magnetic radiation emitted from the record head. It's just another thing to emulate tape. You can adjust it to taste and listen to the artifacting it does. Wow and flutter, I've talked about this a million times. Slight variations in pitch. Flutter's faster, wow is slower. This plugin's unique in the fact you can control both with the one knob, which is interesting. Up here we have tape delay. You can adjust the timing based on the IPS. And then the feedback, which is how much delay happens. And if you put it up to 100%, it'll never stop. And if you put it to 0, you won't hear anything. And then low pass, that gets rid of the low frequencies on the delay that's happening. So it doesn't get rid of the low frequencies on the sound coming in. It gets rid of the low frequencies on the delay coming out of the plugin. It's good to stop cluttering up mixes by having multiple low frequencies on top of each other. And then down here is the tape noise. And then this little button in the middle here, the I and the O, that stands for input and output volumes. You can see them on the VU meters up in the middle here. And there you go. That's the whole plugin covered. It's a pretty beautiful plugin. When you start playing audio, the tape reels will start spinning and stuff. So I've just got it on default here, and I'm going to play around with it on this first sample. So let me play you the sample without the plugin on at all. From an old movie, don't worry about that. I'm going to check the plugin on and do some editing. So essentially what I did is I added a bunch of tape emulation to it, and I messed with the playback volumes, and I actually took only one of the xylophone hits from the sample because it's a delay plugin. So I took one of the xylophone hits and I was going to turn it into its own layer. So normally as well I would add an EQ before the delay to clean up the sound a little bit as well, get rid of some of the digital noise. But I'm not going to do that here. This is what I came up with here. So then easily you could just take this and make it a layer if you play with the pitch, right? So if I warp this, if I just leave it at the first pitch and then change it before it hits again, you'll hear what I mean. That sort of thing. But yeah, that was quite nice. Wasn't too bad. I like using this plugin a lot for turning sounds into little layers, additional layers. So let's turn it off again, and we're going to head to the other sample here. This is what the other sample sounds like without anything on it. So another benefit of using this plugin, this is the main reason I use this plugin a lot, is for the mastering presets. So it seems like a weird thing with a tape delay plugin, right? but some of the mastering presets sound really good. I think it's meant to emulate putting it through tape in the finishing process, you know, to finish the song. So I like to use some of the mastering presets. If I just go up here, you got a bunch of different presets you can use, but just mastering, and then it's up to you. I think clean and open sounds pretty good. So this is what it sounds like with it off, right? This is what it sounds like with it on. A very subtle difference, but if you put it on the master chain after you mix the whole beat, you'll notice a significant difference. It just makes everything feel a bit more glued together and wider as well. It's a bit hard to explain. The whole beat just comes together a bit better. I love using it. I think it's one of the coolest things. But yeah, so there you go. Kramer tape plugin. Check it out. Mastering plugin, a delay, and tape emulation all in one. I think it's really good. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.